Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. I'm Kari Diaz.
And I'm Brooke Mangum, and today is a special edition.
Woo.
You're stuck with us.
Moms.
Don't turn it off now. Come on now. You're safe with us.
We're getting real on this podcast about parenting. And you know what? You and I were chatting a little bit before this. There's so many things that and advice you get before you become a parent. And there are so many things that you don't know.
Oh, nothing.
After.
I was so ill prepared. And I know a lot of you are going, shocking right now. But yes, I was ill prepared. This is a true story. When I had just given birth to my daughter, they had a lovely moment. I'm holding her afterwards and they're taking me through things. And I stopped the nurse on the way out and I said, oh, wait. How much water does she drink? And that is when the nurse looked at me terrified, grabbed me by the arm and said, you do not give them water. You listen to me. You do not give them water. I was like, oh no, I'm Rachel from Friends. I don't know what to do.
Learn. Nick and I, my husband and I, didn't know how to hold a baby.
Same.
We had to learn. I remember the nurse saying head and butt. And I was like, okay, I got this. That felt like a little bit more solid that we knew how.
It's shocking our children are still alive.
I know.
Because it's hard.
It's really hard, especially when, there's new stages that you go through every time they grow and change. And there's no book for this. I mean, there are kind of books, but not really.
What do they know anyways is my thought. I'm like, all of us are just trying to figure out. Speaking of phases, I'm starting to get in the play date phase, right?
Oh, okay.
So Ava is just barely, she's almost 5. She's barely getting into she wants to do play dates with other families and wants me to leave, which kind of makes me nervous about just dropping your kid off. You really want to make sure it's a safe and secure environment. But
has to be.
There's something going viral, which I want to run by you, Kari, because you've been in these roads, these trenches,
yes, I've been there.
There is a mom that is going viral for charging other moms for play dates.
Oh.
So this is, in my opinion, what I'm about to tell you goes a little bit too far and is tacky, but I also understand this. If you're dropping your child off and they are no longer in your care, technically, in my mind, you got to pay somebody for that, right? It's you got a babysitter, you got a nanny. Well, this mom felt the same way when a daughter or a child got dropped off to play with her daughter. She started charging them for juices of cups, potty flushes, Netflix movies. This was ridiculous. But I do question, do you compensate that person for a play date or at least cover expenses, right?
I think it's tricky, because when you are in charge of a play date and you have multiple kids with you, and let's say they're just at your house, so we know how much kids eat, so they're going through and they're not finishing the juice boxes, and there's crackers and cookies and
messes it's everywhere.
There's a lot of an expense. I personally wouldn't charge somebody for that. I would feel like, oh my gosh,
me too.
It's okay. I want to feed your child and that's fine.
Yes.
But then there's also so if you go to the zoo, say that you're dropping off your kid for a play date and with another mom and they're taking them to the zoo, absolutely you're going to pay for your child's ticket.
Yeah, you have to do that. I think that's a really very important point is if you're at somebody's house, that's kind of you're now a host, right? You're hosting and you wouldn't ask, it's that old debate is if people come over to your house for Thanksgiving, do you charge them for the turkey? Some people do say
yes. You're going to have to Venmo me $23 for Thanksgiving dinner.
I think being a parent, you would just want to make sure hey, if they do anything or please let me know. But you bring up a very good point with going somewhere because I actually ran into this with my daughter's 4th birthday party. Birthday parties are a huge expense now.
I never thought about this, obviously, until you have a child and
Never.
I still don't know what I'm doing with parties because it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing, and every single year they get bigger. You don't necessarily want those kids at your house, like we just discussed, going through the half-eaten juice boxes and putting Cheerios into your carpet.
Clearing your cupboard out.
Yeah, so you want to go somewhere else where it's contained chaos, but a lot of these places, they charge for the kid to come, and then they also charge if there's a guardian or a parent or something like this. I recently had it at Ava's birthday party, and my thought was, okay, I'm throwing a party, so of course I'm going to cover the cost of the kids that were invited.
So the kid you're inviting, so the one kid, right?
The one kid, because it's hey, I'm not going to say, please come to my child's birthday party, give me $15, right? That felt yucky to me. But this particular instance, I had to have wristbands for every person attending the party. And that that was also adults.
So even so, like say the child that you invited of the friend, so they bring two parents, the two parents come along, and what about their siblings?
See, and that happens a lot too. So I had this really wrestling with like how I felt about it, because it's, you know, Miss Manners is going through your head being like, don't be tacky. But then I'm also looking at this cost and I'm going, have you looked at your bank account? Like, this is like, come on, like this is a huge party all of a sudden for 12 kids. Now we're talking 24 wristbands and we're talking this. And you can't, I felt weird being like, okay, well, you can come with one adult, leave your kids at home.
Leave the other kids, right. Leave the sibling at home because like they're kind of part of the family. So they want to come play. I feel like if say, and we have an only child, we have one child, but if if Amelia got invited to a party, Nick and I show up, I would offer to pay for us. Like I would feel comfortable. The only way I'd feel comfortable is like, I'm going to pay for us. And then also if we had another sibling if Amelia had a sibling, I would pay for that sibling. I would feel so uncomfortable just to like, here's 70 extra people.
Yeah. I feel the same way. But I think a lot of parents, they don't know that the cost is there. Yeah. Right. Like I didn't know this until this happened to me. So I thought, I'm like, how many birthday parties have I gone to? And the people have thought, this lady coming with two adults, but you have no idea. There's just so many things that, you know, they always tell you sleep when the baby sleeps, right? Well, you know, that's ridiculous. There's all these different rules, but the thing that I wish that somebody would have explained to me a little bit better about parenting is the guilt that comes with it.
Because I feel like, can I drop this mic? Or I can't because I don't want to break it. But you hit the nail on the head, the guilt, and it is always there for me.
I'm afraid and I'm guilty all the time. And it's just like, I'm constantly worried about my child's feelings, their health, all those things. And it's like, it's not going away, but also the guilt that comes with it is, I feel like you're a working mom, I'm a working mom. And this goes for dads, this goes for every parent out there. I feel like when I'm at work, I feel guilty for not being with my kids. Yep. Right. I just constantly weighing on me. But when I'm with my kids, a lot of times, like we live in a world where your work doesn't shut off. Like my phone still goes off. My emails are still going off. And we live, unfortunately, in a place where you're expected to answer an email or answer a text or a Slack or whatever at any given time.
You're never really off.
You're never really off. So when I'm with my kids, sometimes I'm trying to just balance it all and I'm not that present. So what ends up happening is you feel like you are not doing your best anywhere.
It's so true. Like everything is kind of drowning. And you know what? The flip side of that, if I wasn't working and I almost think that being a stay-at-home mom is harder.
Oh,
you know,
1,000%.
I mean, I took 3 months when Amelia was first born. So I did 12 weeks of maternity leave and it was great. I needed it, but man, was I a better human being once I got back to work and socialize. I'm a social person anyway. You are too. And so it's like when we're feeling good about what we're doing and we're contributing to the community and we're doing a job, we feel better. But if I'm home all day long, I notice like on weekends, I get a little snappy.
I get more snappy.
I get a little same way. Impatient. You know, I'm not as good and I really try to balance that. But then like no matter what, I'm at work. I feel guilty for not, I'm like, it's summer, it's fall, there's fun things to do. Why am I working when I could be taking her to go do things? So I'm feeling guilty. Then when I'm at home with her, I'm a little snappy sometimes. So then I'm like, you never win.
I never have thought about it that way, Kari. You just gave me like literal like knowledge bomb. Like sometimes I've never thought I'd say this. Sometimes I think the guilt is actually making me a better parent. Like, because I feel bad that I haven't been there. So I come and I'm maybe a little bit less snappy because there are times when I've been like with them, like long weekend, like it's a holiday. And then like by the end of it, like Christmas, I think at everybody's house, the end of the day, it's like it's all the sugar and I'm just losing it. But it's so funny that, you know, I'm going to start appreciating my guilt maybe a little bit differently.
Maybe it's
I appreciate that for you. Thank you.
Maybe it's teaching us something, but you know, I only know, I mean, you have 2 kids. I only know one. I think that I mean, do you feel like it was an extra level of like when you had your little sweet boy, it was an extra level of guilt or was it already there?
Yes, I think it's constant. What I will say is that I feel guilt about my son not getting the attention that my daughter got. Like if I'm to look at like my phone and also my daughter was born right before COVID hit. So she got one-on-one time with the entire house.
So you were home with her a lot more.
So I was home with her a lot more. I was in it. We were constantly interacting where my son not only has to fight for the attention of his mother from his sibling, but I'm also, the world is opened back up and then there's a lot more going on. So I feel guilt that he doesn't get the one-on-one attention. And it's very apparent if you look at my phone to scroll through the photos. I have like Ava's, like, it's like, was there a moment of her life that was not on camera during the
just
beginning?
Following her around
and
everywhere.
then all of a sudden my son is born and then he's a year old. And then it's like the pitch. I missed out on a lot of the moments because I think I was just more busy, but it's also, I'm like, was I more present because I wasn't filming on my phone, or was I just absent a little bit more? And I don't know. I can't tell you.
Well, honestly, I heard this thing the other day and it helped me relax a lot about, I mean, I'm still going to have the guilt. I think that's just like being human and being a parent. But somebody said, remember at night when after you put them to bed, and like a lot of the time that can be a fight, right? Bedtime is like so hard and you're exhausted and you're just like, I just want to sit down. Remember that if you look back on your day, you did your absolute best. And if you feel like you didn't, that's the end of the day and tomorrow's a new day.
Oh, that's so good.
And you can try again tomorrow.
That is a really great one. I find myself like at night, like, you know, like in my prayers every single night, it's pray for patience. That is my overall theme. I'm like, help me be patient.
Well, and I think you brought up a good point of like taking those photos. And I read this article the other day about this mom that said, you know what, I wish I would have been a lot more present in my child's life because I look back and I have all these photos, but I don't have the memories. And then vice versa. What if you were so present? You know, would you regret not having the photos?
Yeah, I think it's such a tug of war, right? Because we do have these amazing devices that connect us to the world, and they make everybody can be like Kubrick. You can all be a filmmaker in a second.
True.
Like, because it's just right there. But it is, because I do find myself looking through the phone, catching these moments more so than being present. And I feel like we cheat ourselves of like these really rich moments with our family. But at the same time, it's like, I love sitting and looking after the kids have gone to sleep, even if it's been a bloodbath getting them to sleep. I look at photos of them and I miss them.
It's so weird how that happens, right?
Yeah. And I love the moments where I like the really special moments that I have caught. Like, I've looked at Ava's first steps so many times. Oh. And they're just like amazing. And I'm taken back and I get misty just thinking about it. But it's like, I would be so sad if I didn't have those moments. But then I also look at my phone and I'm like, I have like thousands of pictures of like things that I like missed. And like, I would have been better if I was maybe just with them present.
Yeah. It's too bad we just can't like hire a photog.
That's right.
To be with us, to follow us around all the time and just get those moments, and then we can be present.
There we go. I'm just going to start putting like a GoPro on my forehead, and I'll just be going around and everybody are just going to be on the Brooke cam constantly. That's it.
Ava's like, Mom, enough. And then that's the other thing is sometimes they don't want to be on. They don't want
it. My daughter especially, because River hasn't really picked up on it. You know, he's taking his time to figure out the world between you and me and this microphone. But
he's still little.
He's still little. He's clueless. We love him for it. My daughter is like, Mom, put down your phone. Like, Mom, like, but then other times she'll want to perform for it. Like, Mom, get your phone out. I'm going to sing a song.
Yeah, they're ready for the stage.
And they love it, but it psychs them out. And I just like, and also like the interaction, that's a whole other topic, is like your child watching you with your phone.
Yep.
And it's just like, we could do a whole podcast on that. And honestly, I don't have the answer for that.
I know.
So we'll need to get a pro in here.
Yeah. Because that Amelia has said to me a couple times, Mom, will you put down your phone? And it breaks my heart.
Right there. Yeah. Just right in your heart. Because my daughter said the same thing the other day, because it's, you know, when it's crazy at work and things like that. She went, Mom, I wish I could just break your phone sometimes. And I was like, me too. And I just said, me too, babe. Me too. Because I don't want to do it either.
I know.
You know, there's moments where you just want to put it down. And I think that that's the most important, is if you can find those little moments where it's just, it can wait.
It can wait. And we do our best. And tomorrow's a new day.
Exactly.
Tomorrow's a new day. And we all feel the same. I don't think there's one mom or dad out there that it's like, oh yeah, I nail this every day.
No, I've never walked away from any situation where like a parenting nailed it.
Nope.
No, I'm like, oh, she's going to need therapy for that one. That's me now.
Currently saving for Amelia's therapy bills.
Same. I'm right there with you.
You know what? We're in this together. We got this. Okay. To wrap up, I found this a hilarious article. These are, you feel like kids these days say things and you're like,
the thing you
wait,
just
what?
said right there, kids these days, that's one of them, right? Like
I am 97 years old
just
currently.
said it. Then also I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what they're talking about.
No, we had our own language when we were kids, so I get it. Now it's like, okay, so I'm going to say a couple of these words. I'm going to see if you know what this means. This is the kids Gen Alpha slang. Okay, do you know what sigma means? So if someone says Sigma. And I don't even know how to say it in a sentence.
That's a fraternity. I would think like Sigma Chi, right? Like that's why I'm like Sigma, like fraternity.
So this says, besides knowing it's a letter in the Greek alphabet, it basically means someone is...
I didn't know that that's what it was. Me, I'm over here. It's a fraternity. Gosh, what did I do in college?
It means someone... Did you go to... I'm just kidding.
Apparently.
I know you did.
Apparently.
It means someone is the best of the best. So it's like calling them an alpha. I'm looking at Hannah. Is that right?
Sigma. Okay, yeah.
She's
we got our resident Gen
producer in here. Okay. Rizz.
Rizz, that is one of the characters from Grease, a very popular show starring Travolta and Olivia Newton-John.
That's what I know.
That's Rizz.
It's actually short for charisma, or a smooth talker. So it means
she's all nodding over. Can't you guys just all take normal words and shorten them down and think they're different?
I don't know. You got Rizz.
You got Rizz.
Okay. Rizzlers.
Rizzlers. Oh, I think like Twizzlers.
That's what I do. That's what I think.
Yeah, like
too.
right, like a Twizzler with some like I don't know Ritz crackers. It's Rizzler.
Twizzler Ritz crackers.
It also sounds like
together.
what your dog does on the carpet when you're trying to. It's a Rizzler.
Gotta clean that up.
Gotta clean that up.
Mom guessed it's a pack or a crew of people with Rizz, but her daughter's kind of vague with this one. She says it's kind of like, where are the Rizzlers? You're asking where the people with a lot of Rizz are. So where are the Rizzlers?
Okay.
I don't know.
We apparently don't have Rizz.
And this is no offense to anyone listening in Ohio. Ohio is a term, I guess. A mom thought it meant like something good, but her kid explained Ohio means you're weird and you're dumb.
What did the people of Ohio ever do to you?
I don't know.
Generation
I think Ohio
Z?
I think it's great. Okay, a couple more. Mewing. MEWING, mewing.
I have no idea.
This mom says to her son and daughter do a gesture with their finger brushing their cheek when they say this one, but the kid says it means to work on your jawline. You're mewing?
What?
Do you know this? Am I explaining that right?
Yeah.
Can you help us, Hannah?
What is this?
I don't know.
It's when you're making like a model face, like your tongue's at the top of your mouth.
So it's the Tyra Banks smize.
It's the smize. It's the new smize.
But it's like the jawline.
Yeah, it's the jawline.
Okay. Oh, man, Brooke.
I'm over here. I don't even... I wish they could see me now. I'm trying to mew, but it just looks like
I look like an idiot.
I look like I'm like trying to swallow peanut butter or something.
Do we have time for one more? Skibidi.
Skibidi?
Yeah.
Skibidi. That's Scooby-Doo's nephew. Skibidi.
Skibidi. According to this 10-year-old slang, it's a reference to a viral meme of someone's head coming out of a toilet, calling it someone that means like they're weird if you say, you got that Ohio skibidi toilet, Rizz.
Wait, your head coming out of a toilet? That's a swirly,
I
right?
don't know.
Wait. Also, yeah.
I just know I'm
can you
old.
please say the sentence again, just one more time for everybody in the back?
You got that Ohio skibidi toilet, Rizz.
You're welcome. If you made it to the end of this episode,
don't you feel better?
I do feel better.
As a human being.
Yeah, at least you're not from Ohio. Oh, wait, are you? Sorry.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you. And
it's them that's saying these bad things. It's not us. We're not Generation Z.
Nope. This
not
is an
even close.
article. This is an article I read. So do we got the Rizz?
We got the Rizz, skibbity, skip, hop,
Bebop.
shabam, bam.
Bebop, Twizzler, Whizzlers.
That's it. You got it.
This may have been the most fun podcast I've done. This was a great time.
It feels good, Kari, doesn't it?
Okay. Are we done?
I think we're just going to turn it off now.
All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.